intro music, it is safe to say that your girl went through with it and cut her hair. While this episode is not about that, I just want to give you a brief update on that. So I went to a great place. This West Indian guy, Larry the Barber. I'll definitely tag him in the notes if you're in the Manhattan, Brooklyn area. West Indian vibe. Like when I got there, soca was booming. It was very clean, very COVID friendly in terms of, the way he does things. I will also say that a part of my insecurity is how I show up and how I present in spaces. And he made me extremely comfortable being a queer plus sized woman. And honestly, he was the first man to ever wash my hair. And ladies, if you have a man or if you like men or if men are somewhere at your disposal, let that nigga wash your hair, because I felt like I was in a Jill Scott video, like the stars, like how did they get in the room? Like it was so professional yet sensual, and I was trying not to bust a nut in the chair because he was probably would be like, sir, I'm gonna need you to exit stage left. All jokes aside, but my hair is cut. I love it. I haven't hit that, oh my God, what did I do phase just yet, and it might not come, and that's okay. But if it does, I'll tell you guys about it on this podcast. But yes, fresh to death. Like I said, for those of you who are in this natural hair care, if you've done a big chop before, or if you're someone who does cut, color, fade, style, faux hawk, mohawks, please send me people that you recommend, hair care products, tips. Because right now I'm trying to define these curls. I don't know if you hear me rubbing my head, but I'm trying to define these curls, the 12 I got. But it's a slippery slope. I'm instantly already just every time I watch a YouTube video, it's a new product, or you gotta buy this custard, or I don't have the cabinet space, so bitch, I'm gonna be in there trying to do this shit with baking soda and blessings because I just don't have time. I'll keep you guys updated. I'll do updates on my hair and where I am with the hair, Chloe's hair care, maybe a segment, maybe not, maybe just, hey bitch, I'm bald head today and it's stressing me. But right now I feel free, I feel pretty, I feel beautiful, I feel sexy, I feel androgynous, I feel peace. While I don't love my haircut in relation to my body because it makes me look like a 40-year-old soccer mom, because I'm just still fattish. From the shoulders up, bitch, I'm out here catfishing, okay? I look like I'll strap you right, but really I just want to eat and lay down, but I look the part, so fake it till you make it. Speaking of fake it till you make it, I have a few topics that I've been toying with about where to go and what should the podcast sound like, and should there be chunks of segments in terms of topical areas or what. But honestly, that's a huge part of my insecurity because I don't quite have a roadmap. And even though one of my good friends and avid listeners was like, oh, do you do outlines? I told her this, and I'll say this to you guys. Fuck no, fuck outlines. I made it through an entire master's degree program, my entire bachelor's degree program. I make it through life without outlining, which is probably why it's a shit show. But whenever you say outline to me, I want to die. Why am I outlining it if I could just do it, right? But oftentimes me not having an outline is when these podcasts sound jumbled. But bitch, when I tell you, as a proud listener of Insequeer the podcast, I am thoroughly impressed with what's come out thus far, and I'm even okay with the Russian roulette of what I'm going to cover, because every time I push record, I tell you guys I get this lump in my throat, and I think that's going to be kind of what I unpack today in terms of this project. And I want to talk about my insecurity with being a queer content creator, right? So I just feel like, I don't know if it's my generation, I'm a millennial born in 1987, I don't know, but I based on the conversations I've been having and the sociology work I've been doing and cultural studies work I've been doing, just looking at the people in my life or the people I see on social media, it looks like we're all waking up and having this wrestle with stepping into our creativity, stepping into our calling, stepping into, or more importantly, stepping out of the outline that we outlined for ourselves as 18-year-olds, or as society, what society told us we should do. And for me, while I know, guys, like I know I am talented, I know I deserve to build tables so other people can sit at them, but inadvertently, I know I deserve to be invited to tables in order for me to get the tools to build a sturdy table for you all. I very much am still very much wrapped up in doing what I think is right based on what I thought was right back then, right? Like, I didn't have a family who are 17 generations of HBCU and the first nigga who ran with Harriet walked into Howard University and have this long trajectory of collegiate people. I come from a lower to working class family where getting your high school diploma was still very much their marker of success, right? So for me, high school was a breeze. And for me, if I was waiting for that Yvonne OG, and also shout out to Insequeer, shout out to the Black Lady sketch comedy, which I didn't, not right now. Shout out to every black face that got an Emmy nomination, although I still look at all those places sus, because it feels like, are you giving it to us because we deserve, or you just don't want to hear the bullshit because we come in and stepping on the necks? But duality, it can be both and. But regardless of why they were nominated, fucking right, they deserved it. And when I look at Yvonne OG's Instagram where she tells her parents in Nigeria that she's nominated for an Emmy, and I see that breakdown of them saying they're so proud of her, that's why I push play today. Because she speaks about it very clearly in her in her HBO special, Mama, I Made It. She speaks very clearly about something I think that we all struggle with in terms of being successful based on someone else's vision. And in her culture, they're like, hey, doctor, engineer, lawyer, married, babies. And she's like, I want to be a comedian and I want to, entertain. And, she does that famous joke of, oh, so you want to prostitute yourself all over the world. And now it's like, do you know HBO? Like, I love that breakdown because she stuck true to what she wanted. And now the fruits of that labor are coming, and she still got that I'm proud of you that she thought she could only receive by being what they wanted from her, right? So bitches out here preaching, right? So this is for Yvonne OG and all of us who are in that OG mindset of, while I understand the reasons why people should do, or why people feel the need to fulfill parental goals and wishes, I think a lot of us are now waking up and realizing we don't want to do those things. And now I'm going to turn the mic on to Chloe Beck. I have always, always wanted to be a comedian. I have gotten so much joy in my 33 years of life from making people laugh, from telling stories that keep you in stitches. I love that part of me. And I just happened to grow up in a place, in a time, in a body, in a circumstance that did not make that look profitable, right? So and then when you think about how shitty Hollywood is, you only see a breakout black. Like, there's only one, right? Before Whoopi Goldberg, I don't know who the black comedian woman was. Like, you could go as far back as Moms Mabley, right? But between Moms Mabley and Whoopi Goldberg, there's not a lot of them who made it to that Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony place. Like, there's Marsha Warfield, who I think is the funniest bitch you will ever meet and ever engage with. If you ever watch Night Court, she's the black bailiff person. Hysterical. I don't know why she's not a more known name. I think about the entire cast of 227. Pearl was a comedic genius, right? Like, I think about, names are escaping me, but there are so many. Nell Carter, bitch. Nell Carter. Oh my God. Comedy. Just smart and witty and funny and could still be palatable to the white gaze. Nell Carter was an icon. So I say all that to say, like, there's this illusion that there is not enough room at the table because we're still just now getting to be the one black you let at the table, right? So then I aside from me not really knowing how to turn comedy into something that was going to feed me, because I grew up in a very scarce community in Ohio. I grew up in a very get this degree so you can get a job and be okay, because we cannot support you. So that really wasn't going to be like, oh yeah, girl, prostitute yourself all over Cleveland, Ohio at the Improv and hope that somebody catches you. I just didn't have that support, right? So now as I sit here, my dream was to be a comedian, right? And I was like, I could not outline. There was no outline for me to follow to make that happen. So I put that on the back burner and I made people laugh pro bono. Pro bono work I do. I'm charitable as fuck. So since I couldn't do comedy, I had no idea what the fuck I wanted to go to college for, guys. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was in AP English. One of our guidance counselors, one of our favorite teachers came in and said, hey, it's time for you guys to start thinking about picking your majors. Now, I'm well into my senior year. I know I'm going to college. And the only criterion I have for college was that it was paid for and that they had an active chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. That was the introduction of my outline. Excuse me, that's all I had. And I didn't want to, I was an ROTC kid, which I'm sure I would like to do an episode on my insecurity being patriotic, because I'm extremely patriotic even in this fucked up ass world of America. But I was overweight as fuck. Like on paper, I was Cadet Kelly. On paper, I was G.I. Jane. On paper, I was Major Payne. Also, another hilarious fucking woman, Kim Wayans. It pisses me off. Kim Wayans, I think, can run laps around her brothers, can run laps around some of the most comedic comedians out there. But I don't know. Maybe Hollywood burned her. Maybe she saw, I don't know. Maybe she's in the back making producer money. But Kim Wayans, fucking genius, hilarious icon, comedic genius. And also, I would like to say rest in peace to their mother. Mama Wayans passed away a few days ago at the age of 81. And that woman, if she birthed those geniuses, I know she was a comedic genius as well. So I salute her and I thank her for her ovaries and her fallopians and her womb that has never been empty. Shit, she might have died in utero with a baby in her. I'm not sure. But I say that to say, I don't know why I said that, but it just came up. So, I was very much pro-military, but the weight, I just couldn't, I did not have the discipline or the know-how or the support to really, really slim down in the way that my ASVAB would have gotten me to be a general or, unfortunately, probably an officer who was killed because I was a black queer woman, because the military is fucked. And yes, I said it. But so the military was out. Comedy was a joke. Oh, that's good. Comedy's a joke. That might be a t-shirt I put on later. And the only other thing that just brings me immense joy, immense instant joy, the only thing outside of comedy, military, is music, right? And while I think I could be a backup singer for the late, great Aretha Franklin, while I think I could back the fuck up out of Luther Vandross or Tamia, I think that, y'all wouldn't think that. So while I love music, being on stage doing the music wasn't quite my zhuzh. I'm very musically inclined. I played the saxophone. I was a drum major in my high school marching band. I played the bass drum. I can play every drum deconstructed, which is a word we use in Manhattan a lot to say we just fucked it up, so here's our interpretation, take it. But when you put that drum kit together, I don't have it. However, so playing the instrument, also who the fuck can afford an instrument? Like, I was lucky enough to go to a school where we had a pretty decent band program. In all from elementary up, I had it, but those instruments did not belong to me, and you were not allowed to bring them home. And once again, I won't say that my family did not support me, but because I remember vividly one of my best Christmas gifts was a Casio keyboard. That keyboard was phenomenal. But you know what did not come along with that Casio keyboard? Lessons. So outline there does not exist. So then, now fast forward to AP English, and they pass out these papers of like, it was pretty much, it said, this should be your major if you want to do these things. So it would have a big title like pre-med, and that's if you want to be dentist, doctor, what, da, 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 da. Or, so for me, since I love music, we had just done a presentation about our favorite song, and I actually picked it to me, a song called Smile. So I'm probably going to put that, not in this episode, but I'm going to play that later, and I'll put it in the liner notes, which is a phenomenal song. And I wrote about my depression at 17 and had never been in love, but bleeding heart nonetheless. And I've also been in love because I love every fucking thing, and that is another episode. So I was real high off of that, like being able to like deconstruct, there's the word again, deconstruct that song. So I'm looking at this paper, and then they're like, telecommunications, major in that if you want to be a music producer. And once again, when you look at access and the table and things like that, at that time in my life, Missy Elliott was the producing guru. Yes, rapper, yes, singer, but her and Timberland, like they were the like fucking Jimmy Jazz and whoever the fuck keeps giving Janet Jackson these bangers. Terry Crews, well, not Terry Crews because he's canceled. But it was like that baby face. She was the female, and in my mind, queer, because she has never confirmed or denied, but she gave me queer energy. So for the sake of this story, I used to get my hair in finger waves like her. I was obsessed with Missy Elliott. Like Missy Misdemeanor Elliott was like another vision that I saw of what I could potentially be. But of course, there was no outline to get there. But I saw music producer, I saw telecommunications, I saw, they also had radio personality, because I told myself, it's so crazy how quickly I create a backup plan for myself because I don't believe in myself, right? Or that was my narrative back then, but it still is my narrative now. And I saw on that same block of, if you do telecommunications, TCOM, aside from music producer, there was like radio personality or like, you know, and another fun fact about me, I don't care what you all think about it, but I love Wendy Williams. I've loved Wendy Williams since her radio messy days where she would go toe-to-toe with the Whitney Elizabeth Houston. I remember her from her Probably Sucked Biggie's Dick days. I remember her before she got the TV show. And I used to always say I wanted to be Wendy Williams because, A, if I can't do the singing, I can't produce the singing, I can at least talk about the people who are doing the singing. So from the beginning of me trying to outline my life, this has been what I wanted to do. I wanted to be in this industry. Like those shows, I love the 80s, 90s. I wanted to be a social commentator, a music historian, a pop culture enthusiast, which we're going to table that a little bit later, the whole pop culture part. What the fuck? So it was that simple to me. And I went to Bowling Green State University and I majored in telecommunications. But once again, I could get the grades and understand telecommunications from a scholastic place because I do school and I run that shit. But I did not have the tools or the discipline or the vision to see how I could turn that A on that paper into my A+ celebrity dream career. So I did not see the return on being in the radio shows. Like I had a radio show. I guested on radio shows. I used to make kick-ass jingles in the studio, but I did not eat, sleep, drink, breathe it, right? Because I was also learning about myself that I'm just Mother Teresa in residence life and housing services on a college campus. I was the RA of all RAs. I was the desk assistant to be the desk assistant. I was student affairs student of the millennium. Like I was very good at that and it came easy and it came natural. So I leaned into it. I just leaned into what fit. And now as I am 33 years old, I got the degrees. I even secured the internship I worked for PBS internship and I was able to get it. And one thing that kind of hurt my outline is public opinion. And I remember very vividly my academic advisor at the time, when I got to college, I had a dream. I said, I want to major. I want to major in telecommunications, and I want to minor in popular culture because at Bowling Green State University, we have like the biggest pop culture program in the world. Like it is like massive and it's world renowned. And it's honestly, I haven't done the research, but I think it's one of the only ones that still exists. So I probably will go back one day to get a PhD in it. But my academic advisor, who brought her scarcity to work that day, and because she was an Asian woman who I can guarantee wanted to be Connie Chung, but there's only one Connie Chung, so she had to curtail her vision, and in turn, she injected that insecurity into my vision, and she told me that you cannot major in popular culture and telecommunications because together those don't give you a career. You need to minor in something that's more of a fallback plan. So if your advisor is telling you your dream is impossible, and when you're 18 and you're coming from a place of like, if I don't get this degree, I will be a welfare queen statistic, you listen. So I minored, while I took as many pop culture classes as I could, I ended up minoring in ethnic studies, which valuable, but I will also say that I have not gotten a single job from that degree. While it makes me more appropriate for people to tap on because they're tapping on me for being black, they don't realize I'm educated in that world on top of it. But so that along with, like I said, I did all the things. I did everything I was supposed to do in the telecommunications world, but I did not invest in it. I did not have the finances to go do really good internships. Like I'm still very envious of some of my friends who, I had one friend who minored in photography and her mom went out and bought her a $3,000 camera just for her minor. And I was like, well, I can't minor in that, even though I think I take pretty cool pictures because I can't afford the equipment that comes along with it because I'm no longer in public school and they don't just have cameras laying around for you to practice with. And that same friend, along with some other friends who I was really close with in my classes, we had this really cool internship opportunity with E. So you literally had to go to California, get your own apartment, and intern with E. E News. E News. Oh my fucking God, my dream. My dream is to work over there, to see it, to be a part of it. Excuse me, but I didn't have any type of money to go to California and get an apartment and have the business clothing and make sure my hair is decent and make sure I can show up and not be my insecurity is about to make me cry because I just did not have the things I needed. I did not have the tools I needed to succeed. So I did not even try for that internship. And I remember my friend got to work the red carpet at the, I think it might have been the Billboard Awards or like one of those summer award type things. And now she's a mom who, while I'm not knocking her for how she chose to use that experience, if I'm not mistaken, she's a mom and like doesn't work in that industry and doesn't use that camera and doesn't do the things. But I can't get mad at her because she had access, and I also can't get mad at her because she chose what she chose. But I say all that to fucking say, a very long story to say, every time I push play to record an episode, all of those insecurities come back because along with all the tools that I did not have to kind of make me feel viable, we still very much, now that we're all waking up at the same time, it seems like, and we're all creatives and we're all crystal gurus and we're all earthy and everybody will post about self-care. In New York City, I was a part of a creative queer collective very quickly. And I did the thing that you just shouldn't do, and I still do the thing, and I compared myself. I compared myself from head to toe. From head to toe, these people look how I want to look. They're doing the things I want to do. They can maneuver spaces and create friendships. Friendships, talked about that last episode, that I just can't because I don't show up confident, because I don't believe that what I have is good enough because I'm raw talent, guys. I'm raw. I'm literally sitting in one of the residence hall rooms that has been cleaned for next semester with my work laptop, my work microphone, my work earbuds, and I'm recording phenomenally. But because I feel like I don't have all the bells and whistles and the shortcuts and the cool graphics and all this stuff, I feel like people don't see me because I don't look cool and queer, and I don't wear three-piece suits, or I don't dress a certain way, or because of the way I present, I feel like people expect certain things from me and I don't often deliver. But I deliver quality content. I have phenomenal conversations. And my previous arch enemy turned pseudo mentor, Lena Waithe. I used to hate Lena Waithe. Lena Waithe signified everything I wanted, everything I deserved, but she just beat me to the place. And I say she beat me to the place because we are still trying to get our seat in the white master's house. So when she came out, and I fucking watched that episode of Master and None, I've seen it 23 times. I counted. Because it's genius. It's Kim Whitley is on that episode, another comedic icon. Angela Bassett is on the episode. Mother Earth. She is, if black is king, she is queen. Okay? Also comedic genius. Her timing is good. She was nominated for her guest role on that Black Lady Skirt Show, which I don't know what the... I'm not going to knock us, but I'm going to critique us. And Lena Waithe is this queer, cool person who loves Whitney Houston. She had the locks. She loves sneakers like me. She is me. I am her. But she has access and drive. And somewhere, even if it's from within, she has this voice saying, you can do it. Who cares who's done it before you? Who cares who does it after you? You doing it is enough. And I used to hate her for beating me to it. Because when I tell you she's reimagined just about everything, like down to the t-shirts that fucking girl wore in 20s, down to the way that she pays homage, hors d'oeuvres, the way that she pays homage to the greats, the way that I can't wait to do it, it almost feels like, why do I even need to bother? Because she's doing it. And I feel the same way with this project. Why do I even bother? There are so many podcasts. There are so many. There are so many people who I personally know and can call who will just throw their hat in and get 10 million streams because of the presentation. Like when I think about my YouTube career, YouTube is another lane that just pisses me off because I know I have good content, but we're a shallow people. We all feed into so many societal norms and stereotypes and assumptions, and I hate myself for some of the YouTubers that I watch because I'm like, I can do this 10 times better, but because I'm not as pretty as you, or because I don't maneuver my fluidity the way that you do, or because I no longer have a stomach and can't do fucking mukbangs, which, bitch, I could have been a mukbang billionaire. Okay, the way I make love to food back in the day, pre-no stomach, there was a lane for me. But because I was trying to give you guys woke social commentary, I did not fall into the let's make a spectacle or let's do the niche thing. But I have some videos on YouTube right now, still to this day, that I think are phenomenally funny. I think they're honest. I think they're well done. But once again, they didn't come with the bells and whistles, and because I don't look like the audience that I want to reach. And I always struggle with that. Like, I very much want to be the things that I'm tearing down. I very much want to stand firm and being my cool queer self, being like Alina Waithe, being like the girl from 20s, being confident and sure of myself, even if my projects suck. Because how many projects do we experience that fucking suck? That just suck. Boo, your content sucks. but niggas get millions of streams and views and plays and retweets and go viral. And then, so maybe their content doesn't suck. Maybe it's just not for me. And because I keep trying to fit my square content into the round hole of an audience, I almost don't push play here. And time after time, every time I push play, I get feedback from people who I never would have thought are listening, and they love it. They fucking love it. They love what I talk about. They love how I talk about it. They love how honest and vulnerable I am, because my content, I keep trying to make it fit a very small population, but every time you all show me that my work is so much bigger than the vision I have for it. So I'm working really hard. I'm working really fucking hard to unlearn traditional jobs and following a traditional path. And B, I'm trying to just find peace in knowing that I'm everything and I have all the tools and I am the outline for this dream of mine. And while I beat myself up for not just, like, I was team YouTube circa 2004, 2005, before it became this monster. I would have been a TikTok star circa back then. And now I'm like, bitch, you're 33 and you'll look dumb sitting here pointing at shit and tweaking and twerking to reach this level. But like, I'm learning to unlearn that there's only one way to success. Because clearly, everything I do has shown me that. Because the girl who picked telecommunications to be a music producer or a radio personality has saved many lives, has mentored hundreds, if not thousands of students, is still someone's RA to this day because I chose to do this. So I will never negate this path, but now that I'm ready to step off of it, I'm terrified. Because when you step to the left, it's all unknown. And I talk to my partner so much about how it's crazy how I'm already living the life that I'm trying to chase. I just keep saying, if I could just work for myself, if I could just do this, if I could just have this, when I already have it. My job is so easy, I'm on autopilot. And it affords me a lifestyle that is of the rich and or famous. I live adjacent to actual celebrities, and we walk our dogs together and we talk. I am in rooms with millionaires often, and I fit and I belong. But my scarcity mindset and the fact that I live where I work tells me that if something goes wrong here, all of this can be taken from me. But while I'm not religious, I'm kept, and I have angels, and I know to be true. Now I know I can stand up and know that if this is true, that if this job and this apartment happen to just evaporate, the one that's being built to replace it, unprecedented. So I will insecurely continue to press record and put it all out there for you guys. I will continuously be honest, and I might repeat myself, and because I think even the episodes that I've done are only scratching the surface. Like, I could go back and talk about friendships for 5 more episodes, and because it's my project and because somebody will want to hear it, I can. Like, it's like Mary, I'm taking the shackles off in real time. And it's like I'm literally freeing myself, and it's scary because, once again, I don't have an outline on how to do it. I still live a very rigid, do the right thing type of life. And I no longer want to do that. And I'm learning to keep my eyes on my own paper and know that just because there is this queer, cool person who can be a DJ one day, can be a producer the next day, can be a space curator the next day, does not mean that that person's success is remotely touching mine. And the people who I envy, I'm just going to look at them now as vision board motivators, because if they can do it, and when I say this, if they can fucking do it, bitch, it's already done over here. So, I say that to ask you guys, like, what does it look like? What is your trajectory? Where has your trajectory gotten you? Like, what turns and twists and perfectly placed accidents happen in your life to get you here? And if you are my audience, I do feel like you're probably very, if not in the beginning stages, you're working through it. You're somewhere on the same journey of wanting to work and own yourself. It's like being a musician and owning your masters. I think we're finally at that place where we want to own our masters in our lives. So what are you doing to own your masters? And what do those masters look like? Like, I'm so, like, for me, I can paint you what my perfect outline would look like. You know, I am not afraid to leave this traditional work and go work another traditional job just in the industry that calls me. Right? I am very much okay with figuring out how to work at a BuzzFeed or an AOL. You know, AOL still exists. That's a fun fact. They also own a lot of shit. I'm very okay with working at a Refinery 29, or God, like when I moved to the West Coast, if All Def Digital picks me up in some, even if I did All Def Digital, the podcast, manifest it, I am now prepared to do the work and let go of some of the luxuries that I have here to be closer aligned to my dream. And I want to work with people who do the work that I do and have the, not, we don't even have to have the same vision, but we're at least going to the same, like, we could all go to the same party for different things. There's some bitches who go to the party to take pictures and say they were there. There's some bitches who go to the party to stand at the chip table. There's some bitches who go to the party to hook up. There's some bitches who go to the party because the party is theirs. We can all be at the same party for very different reasons, but I just want to be around people who are at the same party. I want to be around people who uplift. I want to be around people who do not feel that there's this competition. I want people who want people to win. I really want to be an Issa Rae. I want to create that for a queer collective because I do want everybody to win. Like the joy I felt for Yvonne OG, the joy, the tears, I really thought that was my best friend. I really, because her tears, that moment, I've been chasing that moment my whole fucking life. And because my life is the way it is, I'm running out of people to say that they're proud of me and for me to hear it and feel it and know that I've done all that I can do. I was talking to a guardian angel of mine last night, and I talked about how I'm so concerned that my time is running out and there's not going to be enough people to say that they can't live without me, or that my imprint was so big on their world that they think about me the way I think about Whitney Houston, who died February 11, 2012, or how I weep real tears. I weep for Aretha Franklin. And every time I listen to her music, I am just grateful and I'm fucking thankful. And I'm just like, oh, you did it. Because of you, because Aretha Franklin, who allegedly was molested by her father, had a child by him, pregnant 2 times by 14. She said at 14 with 1 child of special needs and 1 in utero, I am the queen of soul. Everything about Aretha Franklin, nope, she's going to be a Dear Zora letter. I'm not going to give it all away. But something in me tells me I need to achieve that. So that's on my vision board. And of course, underneath all of it is just to matter, of course. I want to matter. And this guardian angel said, well, what about for those of us that you already matter to? Those of us who will weep if something were to happen to you. And I know it. I know I've touched so many lives. But I also know that I still have to pay it forward the way that Whitney, Aretha, Whoopi, Lynn Whitfield, the way that Dorothy Dandridge, the way that Holly Berry, believe it or not, the way that Moms Mabley and the comedic timing of Adela Reese, or the way that I got to watch all these people who kept me I have to pay it back and keep somebody else, right? I will not be successful until I can know that I've done that. So in order for me to fucking do that, I gotta keep pushing record. And I'm not gonna say a podcast is gonna be the thing to get me there, but it aligns me to that journey. It gets me one step closer to that talk show, one step closer to being in the right room, one step closer. Do you know how fucking cool I am, guys? You want me to tell you? I'm gonna brag for a minute. I'm gonna brag on me and how God opens doors and how God shows me that everything I want is right there if I just open my eyes and take a step. Okay, let me tell you about my life. Do you guys know that Roxane Gay, the Roxane Gay, author of Hunger, author of Bad Feminist, social commentary, guest star on the L Word, Q, like writer extraordinaire, is my friend on Twitter, on Instagram, and she watches my stories. She talks to me. You know, she is someone who I have access to. Roxane Gay. Roxane Gay. Someone who, thanks to this job, I was in a place for an opportunity to be her personal assistant while she was here for a speaking engagement. And I got to spend real time with her and her wife, Debbie Miller, who is a podcast guru. Design on it. Like, she has been podcasting for almost 20 years. And once again, she's a white woman, and I'm not coming for her, but she had access, and she took it and she ran with it, and she has a whole career. And I'm going to link her podcast. It's phenomenal. I got to sit with her. I got to sit with Cynthia Erivo, who is very closely linked to Lena Waithe. Like, I am just 2 instances away from everything. And you know how also blessed I am? Cynthia Erivo remembered me. I saw The Color Purple in the first night of previews at 400 pounds. I sat there, and when she came out, she grabbed my nose ring. She literally grabbed my septum and said, "Oh, I love that." And we took pictures. And then you fast forward to about 2 years later, 170 something pounds lighter, no nose ring at all. When she came to speak to Roxane Gay, she stopped in her tracks and she said, "I know you." She said, "I remember you." And when I pulled up the pictures of us together, she's like, "I remember you." So your girl is memorable, bitch. Okay? And I'm already at the table. I just got to work to believe it. Oh, that's such a hard task. Like, I am already at the table. My name is already in rooms that I don't know exist. Okay? Oh, that's what a feeling. But when you live a life, like for 30 years of my life, I've been on one path. I felt one way about myself. I had one truth. For 30 years, I had one truth. So forgive me if now there's 3 years of, hey, bitch, etch a sketch that, let's draw over here. It's hard to get comfortable over there. It's scary over there. It's not as, so in these 3 years that I'm going to claim of this growth, those 3 years and all those people who love me and support me in this 3-year growth, because I left a lot of people over here in that 30, which we talked about. So for those of you who slide to the right with me in this growth, I want to make it crystal clear that I see you. I hear you. I thank you. And bitch, I'm not going to be MC Hammer taking all y'all niggas with me, but y'all can get one good party out of me at least. But I know who's been shooting in the gym with me, but I need y'all to remember that this is a new gym, right? So it's new. Bitch, I'm cool. Excuse me, I'm giving y'all all this. So yes, my insecurity with this project is I think it's subpar in comparison, when I know that not to be true, because I already have over 100 downloads. I have a consistent 25 listeners, and I have not even used my own words publicly to say, hey, I'm doing this thing. And another reason why I know I'm cool, because you guys do A lot of y'all, whatever I'm throwing out, y'all invest. When I said it was YouTube, niggas sent me tripods and paid for cameras. When I said it was podcasting, y'all are writing reviews, y'all are listening, y'all are playing it in the background even if you're not paying attention. So I know the support is there. I just have to get over my insecurity of leaning into that, which I'm going to talk about that on the next episode, right? What does it look like to lean in to the support you've been begging for? That's a precursor. Now, when I say the next podcast, that could be episode 12, 10, but I have a list. I have a running list, guys, a running list of things to discuss. And this was the most pressing for me because I just have to be honest and say I am struggling. Already at 6 episodes, I'm starting to feel like an imposter. Like at 6 episodes, I'm like, what else is there to talk about? And also because it's Insequeer, do I always have to be insecure? What if I just want to be joyous? What if I just want to talk about this or do that? None of that shit matters. How many times have we clicked on the video that said, hey, y'all ain't never gonna guess what happened to my car? And then you hear a long, dumbass story about a fucking goldfish. And then you're like, oh yeah, and I painted my car. So I'm not married to any of this shit. I'm not married to the title. I'm not married to my hair. I'm not married to much, right? But I'm married to me, and it's a commitment, and I'm ready. And I'm just learning how to get rid of this entanglement of my life that I've been on. So once again, I will pose the question because I told you I was going to tell you what my blueprint or what my timeline was or my outline was of what my dreams are for my life. My dreams are to matter, to let other people know that they matter, and to be a representation for that person who felt like they don't see themselves. That's all it is at the core. But I also want to do that at a price point that keeps me comfortable. I want to make money when I sleep. I want to get to pick and choose the projects that I do. I want to be able to say, like the read right now, I want to be able to say, my mental health is not well, so I'm not going to record. I no longer want to feel like I have to show up for work in order to live my life. That is my dream, right? And I can chisel that down like I have so much fluff. Like that is the core of my dream. Then we can add in the specific cars and the bi-coastal and having property in Manhattan proper and all the things I want, right? But all those things are to prove to the outside world of what I just told you I want on the inside. So, what are your outside dreams for us to see, and what are your inside truths for you to believe? As always, guys, what a journey. Thank you for listening. I don't know what this was about, if it made any sense, but it felt good to get it out. It felt so good to say it. It felt so good to be free of that insecurity. And then now that you guys know that I'm struggling with that, it's not a big secret anymore. I struggle to record, and I have so much to say. But I'm so concerned that it won't translate. But I know there's one listener somewhere who this is going to hit for them the same way Home is Where the Hurt Is Part 2 hit for one of you, or the same way one of you all said, hey, bitch, let's talk about that name shit because... So I get it. Maybe your content, your whole body of work isn't for everybody, but it will be respected. And I respect you guys for respecting me on my journey. And I'm getting the fuck out of here as a bald head scallywag. Until next time, I hope the sound was good. I hope the sound was fine. Until next time, kill the niggas. Just kill them. Kill the killers who killed Breonna Taylor. Because arresting them don't seem to be the answer. Just kill them. Eye for an eye, as they say. I don't condone violence, but hey, something's got to give. Like, what the actual fuck? How? Why are women so disrespected? Why? Breonna Taylor, they cannot find a single thing to put on her. You can't say there was weed in her system. You can't say she was a project bitch. You can't say she had warrants. You can't even say she was fucking with a nigga who had warrants because they were at the wrong house. This is another reason why I'm so insecure. Y'all are literally showing us in real time that black women do not matter. Damn. If you got LeBron James, she just made it to the cover of Oprah magazine. You got people screaming it, yelling it, crying it, dancing it, performing it.
Why doesn't she get justice? Why does not that young lady who was asleep, just trying to go to sleep so she can go follow her probably preset outline for life to just make it? To get killed in your sleep. I'm sorry, she didn't get killed in her sleep. She died. And by the time they took their fucking time to get her ambulance there, she died. She didn't die in her sleep. She was alive. But they dropped the ball every chance they got because how dare we have a witness to the bullshit. It just sucks. It just sucks. It fucking sucks and it's not fair. Just like it's not fair that Meg Thee Stallion was shot in both of her feet by a little nigga who's mad that he's not man enough because she's an alpha woman. And it sucks that she feels like for street cred she can't say the thing and hold his raggedy ass accountable. You mean to tell me you can shoot Meg the fucking Stallion, a celebrity, a good girl, a girl who talks about it. She talked about it and it broke my heart. She talked about it because I feel it with her. I feel it as a 33-year-old woman who's about to lose the last piece of home. She don't have a mom. She don't have a dad. Her grandmother's gone. She's only 25 years old. And she said, I just want to fill my space with people who I think love me, who support me, because I can't have my family here. She's just trying to be loved and matter because she tells you that. In that statement, she told me, money don't matter, wealth don't matter. Yes, it's great that Beyonce knows my number and will call me and send me flowers, but when you're alone, you're alone. And all you can do is hope you make the right choice in picking people to share in the gift that is you. And then she gets shot. And niggas want to make memes. Niggas want to joke about it. Or niggas don't want to say shit about it. Every black man in the industry, every rapper, producer, director, hype nigga, every nigga should be saying justice for Meg Thee Stallion, but we're silent. But niggas still want to cry over Nipsey Hussle. Niggas still want to cry over Tupac. Niggas still want to cry over Biggie. And this is why I podcast, because the energy that I have right there, it's my job to make sure that people like her know that she matters. Breonna Taylor. Who knows what she could have become? And unfortunately, these days, the only chance for people to know your name as a black woman is to become a fucking hashtag. To become a fucking hashtag. Oh. I no longer want to say kill the cops who killed Breonna Taylor, right? Kill the cops, kill the cops, kill the cops. I don't want to say kill the cops anymore. But since I was not prepared, and I don't know their names because it's easy to say kill the cops, I guarantee I'm going to start the next episodes with their names. But until I can give you guys that information, the officers whose job it was to protect and serve, who did everything incorrect on the day that, or the night that young lady lost her life, they deserve a consequence to their actions. Their gross negligence. People are fired at restaurants for doing less. People are fired every day. An orderly can get fired for leaving the wrong blood tube in the wrong place. But you mean to tell me you can haul off and shoot up the wrong house without a warrant and kill an innocent black woman who was asleep, who was a paramedic, also a first responder, a sister, a cousin adjacent to the work that you do, to swore to protect and serve, took similar oaths. She can be killed. And it can be close to 200 days later and not even a single thought of any type of indictment, any type of justice. Somebody's going to pay for that. And always, I'm your bald head scallywag, and I want you to know it. Black Lives Matter. My computer's locked. I'll be fully transparent, so I can't end the episode until I log back in. So let's buy the time here a little bit. So, recap. I'm Insequeer. Recap. Where has your life
outline taking you, and are you still on the same path, or when did you realize you needed to change the path, and how are you going about changing that path? And I'm a cool kid and I appreciate all the love and support. Please like, share. If you're listening, it means the world to a podcaster or to a content creator for you to literally sit down and write a little paragraph. Like, just review me. Act like I'm a bad Yelp review, but make it positive. You know how the energy y'all bring to Twitter when a package is late? Can y'all bring that same energy, but in a positive light, to my podcast? Because that would be extremely helpful in terms of getting me the recognition that we all know I deserve.